In this current climate, day and time, information needs to be given clearly. In this case, Clear Vision with 2020 is a podcast for the people, by the people, that does exactly that. Your host keeps an open eye and mind when dealing with any issue at hand. We empower our audience with knowledge. You matter, and here, I use my voice to support and represent the people. The people are the human family who loves truth. Logical thinking and conversation skills are required for communication. News, culture, music, and entertainment with a clear look from a different perspective. Clear Vision with 2020.
Peace, family. This is your man's. This your brother, Agent 2020. And you have entered into Clear Vision with 2020. Man, January 10th, 2020. We are seeing that this is turning out to be that kind of year already all over again. So, my subject today is kind of like a two-part subject. The first part of the subject is, could it be? Could it be that Master Fard Muhammad, founder of the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his Christ, and the Messiah in our midst today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, could it be that they were right about America? So we're going to get into this. And the reason why that's the first part of it is because it's going to segue into the second part, and I'll talk about the second part here in a little bit. In the light of everything that has happened here within the last couple of days, this time in 2020, January, the nation was gearing up for Savior's Day 2020 in Detroit, Michigan. And I want y'all to go back and check this out. You can go to NOI.org. You can go to the Mas Mariam channel on YouTube. You can go to anybody on YouTube that you would possibly know that's either in the nation or that listen to the minister, and I can pretty much guarantee you 9 times out of 10 they're going to have a clip of the unraveling of a great nation somewhere in their library. You need to go check that out, because he said it was going to unravel. I mean, he looked us right in the face and told us, what are you going to do when it starts unraveling? That being said, the current state of the United States of America as a country, right now we're seeing that it's a pretty morbid time, as I would like to say. Morbid in the sense of ill, deadly. We're witnessing the fall of America. We're witnessing the hijacking of democracy. So now that we're at this point, what are you going to do? Which brings me to part 2 of the subject. Now that we know what's going on as black people, I'm not going to say people of color because that's a broad term, but I'll add people of color in there as well. But black people in particular, what are you going to do now? Is unity such a bad thing? Is thinking about our future such a bad thing now? Economically, socially, community wise? Yeah, I mean, is that such a bad thing now that in light of everything that we've seen here in the last couple of days? Let's just say since 2012. Is that such a bad thing now? That's part two. Black people and people of color. Is it such a bad thing now to think about what we should be doing with our communities, with our economic situation, our systems, our learning, our entertainment, everything that goes along with us being a community and with us being a culture? Us having a culture, let's say. So, as I always say, I usually get a lot of my news and information from the Final Call newspaper. I love to plug the Final Call newspaper. It is the #1 independent newspaper, black-owned newspaper in the world, period. They got some great articles, contributors from all over the world. So I get a lot of my news from the Final Call. And they do have a digital version if you like to do it on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone. You know, you can go to www.finalcalldigital.com, subscribe for a month, for a year. You know, you get a issue every week. So that's 4 issues for the month. You know, you can get it for a month, 3 months. You can get it a month at a time. It don't even matter. You know, just stay informed. That's all. That's all we're saying. So, first thing I want to do is we're going to talk about this breach of the Capitol. You know, I never actually thought that something like this would happen in my lifetime. But now that I see how everything is going, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's been building up this way for a long time, you know, knowing that the country that we live in has a history of these type of things. Now, we're not talking about the fact that they decided that they wanted to have a revolution and get away from the king and queen. That's a whole nother subject. We're talking about internally. See, the same thing that was going on internally in England before they started kicking the boys out, that this country now calls their founding fathers, is the same thing that's starting to go on now. Think about that one. They were upset with the way that the people were being represented by their so-called government. Take that into consideration. I'm just saying. You know, and they talked about, and they talk about us being the dangerous ones. Like we gonna take over cities and all of that stuff. You know, I can't say that if that was us doing all of that, it would have been a lot of dead people on the steps of the Capitol. I do believe that one. Let's see. I'm about to pull some stuff up real quick. I'm glad y'all tuned in. You know, we're going to be doing this a whole lot more just like this. You know, we're going to be doing the videos as well. Still going to be the audio podcast. The audio portion of this podcast is still going to be shared with Anchor. You know, I'm going to be doing it in episodes now, so, you know, we're still going to be able to stream on Spotify and stuff like that. So y'all go check that out. That'll be Clear Vision with 2020. At the beginning of every episode, you'll see what they call the save link. I'll share the link, in the actual video, so you'll be able to click on it, or you'll be able to copy it down so you can go check it out. I got some other episodes on there that's just audio only. Pretty good subject matter. Go check it out, leave your comments, and I'm always open for subjects. I'm always open for different types of conversation for us to be having, because this is a family affair. We all need to be involved now. We all need to be talking about what's going on and how it not how we fit in it, not really how it affects us, but the type of effect it's going to have on how we move. That's a little bit different. So U.S. Capitol, 4 dead after rioters stormed the halls of Congress to block Biden's win. Now, this was all over an election. And see, I did a podcast a while back called Ideals. You can't stop an ideal whose time has come. And at the same time, the thinking behind that ideal. Now, this is what we're talking about now. We're talking about the thinking of some people here. A whole bunch of people who decided they wanted to go to the Capitol and they was going to protest. And that protest ended up turning into them breaking into the Capitol and tearing it up, taking stuff, all types of, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Four people dead. So I'm gonna take y'all back a couple more years. I'm gonna take y'all back to 2016. The minister he had a message called "When Satan Cast Out Satan." Y'all need to go check that out, because pretty much he predicted this was gonna happen. Pretty much. He said it. You elect Donald Trump will be your last legitimate president of the United States. So we're going to see how it go. So you see, they already did. Now they said they was planning another one for the 20th. The day of his inauguration, they planning another get together. They said they was planning another protest. So how's that gonna turn out? Let's see if they're gonna have somebody on deck. Let's see if they're gonna have some people ready this time. Because the Capitol Police didn't do their job. And DC is kind of upset about that too. But hey, from what I was hearing, some of the people was talking about, it didn't surprise them that they didn't do anything. Huh. Now that we seeing all of this stuff happening, I don't think it's too bad of an idea for us to start thinking about making our neighborhoods safe and decent places to live, so we can do the things that we need to do and not have to worry about all of this nonsense that's going on outside. Just don't let it come in where we at. Now, on top of the rioters, they found pipe bombs. They found a vehicle with a rifle and as many as 10 Molotov cocktails in the vehicle. So they was ready to firebomb, set it on fire if anybody was. They was ready. They was ready. You understand what I'm? They were able to get all of that stuff to the Capitol. So I'm gonna read this portion of this article. This is from CNN Politics. Now, when I do my next edition of Clear Vision, then the new edition of the Final Call is going to be out, and we're going to get a whole nother perspective of it. That way, you'll be able to have the whole story, and then you can make your informed decision from there. Because it's time for us to start paying attention. I'm not saying you have to be in front of it 24/7, 365, but it's time for you to start paying attention. Because if you don't, you're going to get lost in it. And when you get caught up in it, you ain't going to know nothing. It's going to be a shame. You don't want to do that. So this is from CNN Politics. This was on January 6, 2021, in the sense of the Fair Use Act in 1972. Which I'm going to have on deck here, and I'll be able to let me read the fair use disclaimer here. Alright, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right. So now that we got that out the way, this section is called Multiple Bombs Detonated Safely. Multiple bombs detonated safely. Federal and local law enforcement responded to reports of possible pipe bombs in multiple locations in Washington, D.C., according to a federal law enforcement official. A pipe bomb was found at the Republican National Committee headquarters, an RNC official told CNN. The device was found on the ground outside along the wall of the headquarters. It was safely detonated by the police, the RNC official said. At least 2 suspected pipe bombs were rendered safe by law enforcement. The one at the building that houses RNC offices and one in the U.S. Capitol complex. A federal law enforcement official told CNN. The official said these were real explosive devices and they were detonated safely. So that's 3 right there altogether. Or 2 or 3 is 2. Said 1. At least 2. Okay, so that's 3 altogether. So that's 3 right there. The Democratic National Committee was also evacuated after a suspicious package was being investigated nearby, a Democratic source familiar with the matter told CNN. The party had preemptively closed the building ahead of the protests, the sources said, but a few security and essential personnel were evacuated. And it ain't even been updated yet, so you know it's going to be more information that's going to be coming out now. So to take into consideration that when these people were going into the Capitol, they were in there voting. No, they were in there announcing the votes of the Electoral College. So since they were announcing the votes, there were lawmakers in there. These are the people that get sent to do the job for us, quote unquote. They were in there voting when they stormed in. That's like you working at your job and all of a sudden the mob just coming to your job to come and get you. It's about 15 people. They just storm and, you know what I'm saying, they go through the restaurant, they come to the back looking for you. You know, they got the everything blocked off. They coming to get you. They rushing past people, pushing people out the way. They trying to get to you. These people were in there. Even though they were contesting the vote, they were in there. 4 people got killed. 1 woman got shot in the neck, right there in the building. So you tell me. Fall of America by Elijah Muhammad. Chapter 23 is called The Dissatisfied. See that? The Dissatisfied. Check this out. We are living the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We are living in a time when dissatisfaction is 100% throughout the world of man and mankind. Therefore, we are living among the dissatisfied persons daily and nightly. No one is satisfied, though they may be righteous. They are not satisfied because they are living among unrighteousness. So the whole entire world of the wicked and the righteous is upset due to dissatisfaction. The dissatisfied are gaining more every day. And they're gaining more and more among the people whom they hope to bring into the same condition they're in. And today nothing is made so clear to the chief maker of dissatisfaction. So we seen a group of dissatisfied people who brought those who felt the same way they did to the Capitol, and they gathered. And they said, we don't like what you're doing anymore. We're not satisfied with the way that you represent us. So they stormed in the Capitol and tore it up. Now, what is that to you? I mean, because our lessons teach us that a beast is a person who has lost all knowledge of self, or a savage is a person who's lost all knowledge of self and is living the life of a beast. Now, that doesn't have to be on a physical level. That can be on a mental and spiritual level as well. So we're probably looking at the fact that this nation's term has been called now. So people really have to start thinking about the things that are going on in this nation. Now, I'm not too much of an entertainment individual, but I do watch a lot of stuff that pertains to real life. If it doesn't have anything to do with real life, I'm probably not that interested in it unless they got a real message in it. The new season of SVU, Law and Order. This is the beginning of what I call the realization of white supremacy as a system. If it wasn't realized before 2021, let me say before 2020. If it wasn't realized before 2020, it's realized now. Because Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, in her book, The ISIS Papers, she defined what white supremacy was. This is the information that we need to arm ourselves with so we understand the system and what's going on in it. I'm going to read her definition of white supremacy. Okay, so now listen, this is her theory right here, okay? And I want you to take this into consideration. Take this home and think about it. Because we're talking about a system. This doesn't just have anything to do with the color of somebody's skin. This has more to do with their thinking. But it's based on the knowledge of the people who put the system together, what they thought about themselves and how long they thought their reign was gonna last on the planet. And I'm just saying, because we're talking about this. The Crest theory was based upon the insightful work of Neely Fuller Jr., the author of the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept, a textbook workbook for thought, speech, and or action for victims of racism, white supremacy. That's another one y'all need to get, okay? Neely Fuller Jr. Fuller, the founder of the racism, counter-racism concept, was the very first victim of racism to understand it as a global, listen, a global system of organized behavior, thought, speech, and action for white supremacy domination in all areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. So, I want you to keep that in mind. Now, when she puts this in the context of her theory. This is how she states it. Give me a quick second. Let me grab it real quick. Hold on. I just got my book back, so I don't got it marked like I usually would have it marked. Okay. Her emphasis was on white genetic survival. Okay. So somebody's system is coming apart right now. So I just found it. Okay. So here we go. Now these are her words. This is exactly how she put it together. And we really need to think about it in this concept, because if you don't think about it in this concept, then you won't understand the stuff that's going on around you and why it's happening. You know, it's so much, why is all of this going on? Why do they keep killing us? Why is all of this? You know, all of these questions get asked. Now we got somebody that gave an answer to it, but when you hear the term black and white and you don't like the, all of a sudden now you don't like the definition. No, this is just what it is. You know, we working with truth today. So, as a black behavioral scientist and practicing general and child psychiatrist, this is the lady that we lost just a few years ago. This is her importance. For those of us who don't know who she is, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Look her up on YouTube. Okay? And I'm going to repeat that. As a black behavioral scientist and practicing general and child psychiatrist, my current functional definition of racism, white supremacy, is as follows. The local and global power system, structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously, determined. This system consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, and action, and emotional response, as conducted simultaneously, at the same time, simultaneously, in all areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. The ultimate purpose of the system is to prevent white genetic annihilation on Earth, a planet in which the overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, black, brown, red, and yellow, by white-skinned people. All of the non-white people are genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to genetically recessive white-skinned people. That's the definition. So we're talking about racism, white supremacy, in all areas of people activity simultaneously. Education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And if you really break down every single system that she just named, you'll understand that it goes on in every single one of them. Now, could it be that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, and his Messiah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, were right when they were talking about the fall of America? Has he been right when he's been talking about the system and how it hasn't been fair to the people? Because he just don't speak for us specifically. See what you understand. He speaks for us first. He speaks for us specifically because nobody else is really doing it. And you can try to disagree with me if you want to, but you name me one person that will stand up at any given time, and when I say speak for us, I mean speak for us, down to the soul, speak for us. Ain't nobody doing that. When they started killing them people, our people got scared and said they weren't gonna do that. The minister wasn't. The nation wasn't. It's just that simple. He's speaking for us right now. But he's speaking for the whole as well. The whole of humanity. Could it be that they were right? I mean, it's just, to me, it's a valid question to ask. Because there's a lot of people that talk a whole lot of stuff about what black people should be doing, what black people, but nobody talks about what actually goes on with us. Nobody addresses that because, see, it's more to it than just the surface. It digs deep. You know, and sometimes you have to go deep if you're going to solve a problem. You got to solve it at the root. When you pull a plant up from the root, then it dies. If you just cut it and the root stays, that gives it the option to grow again. We all know that. That's common knowledge. When you do landscaping, what do? You don't just, you cut the grass, but when you see the root, the weeds, what do? You get them by the root to make sure they don't grow back for a little bit. I mean, it's just simple. It's just simple mathematics. So, knowing that we're at this time right now, not knowing what this action in itself is going to actually change as far as the laws are concerned, as far as protests are concerned, as far as anything is concerned now. All of that stuff has been tainted. But now we know that there are two ways that they deal with protesters. They deal with protesters that are black and people of color one way, and they deal with white people another way. Once you see that disparaging action, what do you do after that? I mean, to me, you supposed to talk about it after that. You supposed to be like, hold on, that ain't right now. What's going on with that? I mean, how come y'all didn't have people set up already waiting for them to get there? What was the problem? How come y'all didn't have the soldiers ready like y'all did during the Million Man March, when y'all knew that 1 million black men was going to be coming to the steps of the Capitol, and 1.8 million showed up, and it was the most peaceful thing that you could have ever seen in your life, and it wasn't nothing but black men there. So, and you can go back and watch that too, in full, live and in color. So you see the contrast. National Guard was there. Whole city was shut down. Wasn't nothing going on. Police force was on deck. They had soldiers underground. Probably had snipers on the roof. It ain't no telling. Probably had the whole setup. Peaceful. And we cleaned up the Capitol before we left. And there wasn't no trash on the ground. Left it just like it was when we got there in the first place. Now, how many black people know about that? I don't care about that stuff, man. We, man, whatever, man. We. Okay, I'm just saying. It wasn't a million of them, but they were there to protest. Not a lot of cops, no military, no tanks, no armored vehicles, no law enforcement in riot gear, none of that stuff, no face masks, no helmets, none of that. Wasn't nobody hardly there at all. It was just the regular standard permit to protest. And it turned into that. So did they let them do it? Now, my sister Vicky Diller, I need to go check her out at Fly Nubian Queen. Once they get that back up, but y'all need to go check her out at Your Black World. She broke it down. She did a show on it, and y'all need to check that out. That's a perspective that you need to look at. This is our media, y'all. We get the story from everybody else, but we don't control the narrative. It's always from everybody else's perspective, but not ours. So it's about to start coming from our perspective now. But she did a real nice show on it. And she hit some pretty salient points that need to be thought about. One of the points that really need to be thought about is, as far as protesting, is it really worth it? I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't say anything about it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and make it known that you feel a certain way about something, but I think we can do more work behind the scenes to make sure it don't happen again. The youngsters, who don't like the injustice, go to law school. Learn about it. Come out and represent your people. Come out and protect your people. Be a lawyer. Be a counselor. I mean, these are the things that are needed. So don't just put it all on a certain group of people and then complain about it when it don't get done. Step up and get involved. It's not nothing wrong with it. You're not being other than yourself. You are being yourself when you do that. That shows that you care about your people. If you don't think that they're getting the proper representation, then you stand up and represent them. I got some brothers they got law, they in the law practice now because that's what they want to do. So, I mean, it's time for us to start grooming our children to take these kind of positions. You want the world to be a better place, you have to put better people in the positions to make it a better place. You have to put people in those positions with the right mindset, with the right disposition to go and represent the people like they need to. You don't put the wolf in front of the hen house and have them protect the hen house, you're not gonna have no hens. When you come back, they're gonna all be ate up. He ain't gonna be able to run. He probably gonna be too full to run. So we really have to start taking in excuse me, start taking into consideration our future, you know, as black people in America. It's just a known fact that we cannot change or control affairs that don't really have too much to do with us. But we can control and change our affairs at the basic level. We can start there and start trying to do something about how we're living. You know, start building stores for ourselves and our community, start shopping with each other, start spending our money with each other, start building up our community. You know, I mean, and just like we're saying, since we keeping it real, we don't spend no money in our community. We don't care about putting no shops and building no infrastructure in our community because black people don't like spending their money with each other. Half the time you don't even want to trust your own brother. You don't trust the business. You don't want to do no business with them. I mean, so how we going to have a community if we're not doing any business? We got a whole bunch of houses. We got a whole bunch of land, all of this stuff. You know, we got cars, we got this money in our pocket, but we spending it with everybody else and we not spending it with ourselves. And it's showing that we not, because we not building nothing in our community. We not putting nothing together. I don't see 2 or 3 people coming together and saying, hey, let's put a shop together. We know our people need this stuff over here right now. So let's get together on the business tip and start doing that. Nobody's doing that. If they are, they must be talking about it in secret or something. I would really like to know about it, because I might want to get involved with something like that. I did want to highlight something. We'll highlight a couple of things out the final call before I end this segment. And the second hour of this is going to be, what are we going to do as a people now that we see all of this stuff? What's the next step for us? And I got some things I want to speak on that as well. Because it's time for that to happen too. So let's see here. Okay. Now my brother Dimitri Muhammad, he's a guest columnist at the Final Call. He's also a member of the Final Call of the Nation of Islam Research Department, as well as an author. Plenty of books. Got his own website, researchminister.com. Y'all need to go check him out as well. He is a very good student minister as well as researcher. So this is his article in the Final Call newspaper, January 12, 2020. Or 2021, right? No, this was 2020, so this was last year. Let me make sure here, hold on. I'm sorry, it's 2021. It was just a little bit of a misprint here. So yeah, it was 2021. Okay, so yeah, this is in the latest edition of the final call. It's called The Wicked Use of Science and Chemistry to Stop Black Liberation. So they had a couple quotes in here. So I'm gonna read a little bit out of this article. This is on page 16, and then it's continued on page 24 of the final call. If you got the final call digital or the hard copy from the brothers on the block, that y'all just like to call just newspaper boys and bean pie sellers. No, we a lot more than that. Don't ever get that twisted. We doing a mission. It's not a lot of people out there doing a mission, and I'm writing a song about it. It's called Boots on the Ground, and I think I'm gonna get one of the brothers on here so they can tell you themselves, because it just gets under my skin sometimes how our people that's actually out here doing the work of trying to inform our brothers and sisters of what's going on around them and trying to bring them a word, how they just get looked at like, they not important at all whatsoever. The same people that walk right by you will go right into the grocery store or right into the gas station and buy the damn newspaper from the Herald Bulletin, or buy their local newspaper from wherever they at, and don't see no news about them in there unless somebody getting killed, somebody getting robbed, somebody getting arrested, somebody going to jail, prison, court cases. Don't see no other news about you though, but you want to talk about somebody else. But check this out. They would not teach our people the science of modern warfare, defense, birth control, or chemistry. That was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who said that. Okay. Now this is out of the Holy Quran, Surah 5, Ayah 91. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, it says, the devil desires only to create enmity and hatred among you by means of intoxicants and games of chance, and to keep you back from the remembrance of Allah and from prayer. Where you keep back, where you then keep back. Alright, so in a July 4th, 2020 message by the Minister Farrakhan entitled The Criterion, the minister declared the American people, with particular emphasis on the Black and Latino communities, that the proposed COVID-19 vaccine should not be taken. Minister Farrakhan's rejection of the COVID-19 vaccine and his strong admonition against it, the Black and Latino communities receiving it, has caused a controversy. And it has. He's just telling the truth. There's some other stuff about that too. We're going to get into that too. Yeah, 2021 is going to be interesting, because I wasn't taking it either, and I want to see what happened before you even come anywhere near me with a needle. You're going to have to show me exactly what's going on, because other than that, I'm good. I haven't been sick with all praises due to Allah. I haven't been sick with it. All praises due to Allah that I don't get sick with it. And if I do, I still wouldn't take it. Yet, like the Bible's prophet Daniel, back to the article, Minister Farrakhan has been guided by Allah God to reject the pharmaceutical industry's COVID-19 vaccine. It was the prophet Daniel in the Bible's Old Testament who rejected the king's meat and the king's drink. Daniel's rejection of what his government told him to put into his body provides a prophetic example for Minister Farrakhan's rejection of what the American government has approved for us to put into our bodies as an experimental vaccine. Now we're going to go into the science and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught to him by Master Farah Muhammad, who we believe was Allah God in person. Period. This is called Yakub's Needles. And if you've read Message to the Black Man, you probably would understand a little bit about this. If not, you need to get Message to the Black Man and you need to read about this part. A review of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings about Mr. Yakub, a great black scientist whose divine mission it was to graft out of black people the white race, is helpful to us in considering the minister's admonition. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Mr. Yakub used doctors and nurses in the process of grafting the white race by using the genetic material of the original black people. Mr. Yakub was a scientist. And contrary to popular opinion, it is not brute force that has been the secret to white supremacy's global conquest of people of color. It has been the weaponization of science. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad writes in Message to the Black Man, Yakub's aim was to kill and destroy the black nation. He ordered the nurses to kill all the black babies that were born among his people by pricking the brains with a sharp needle as soon as the black child's head is out of the mother. You gotta read Message to the Black Man to even begin to wrap your head around this. Okay? But you can do some research on science and find out the type of things that go on. A good place for you to start would be Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He has a book that I'm about to show you. As well as many others, but this one in particular is one of the important ones. Okay, this is Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity. He documents all of the medical experimentation that was going on black people, and he goes back with footnotes, so you can't say that he's just making it up. No, the nation ain't making none of this up. What we do is we research, because guess what? History best rewards the researcher. History, something that y'all be staying the hell away from. Y'all stay as far away from that as y'all can, and don't even act like y'all don't, because y'all know y'all do. See, when you start doing the history and you start putting it together, who do the history more than anybody else? And I can tell you it's only two groups of people on this planet, in this country, that's done the history. Some of them fell off, some of them stayed on. But it's only two groups here that's done the history, and both of them Islamic groups. One is the Nation of Islam, the other one is the Moorish Science Temple of America. If you know some Moors, you know that they know some stuff. They do research. They research on the law side more than anything, because they want black people to understand the law and how it works here in this country. So we done the research. But he has a section in here that speaks specifically on this, called Killing God in the Black Man's Brain. Okay, that's part 6. In part 5, he was talking about the he was talking about the experimentation and using different chemicals, and experimenting on black males, and it having to do something with their masculinity. So when we talk about the use of science and chemistry to stop black liberation, it gets deep, but you have to have a foundation to start with. So my suggestion to you would be Message to the Black Man, Fall of America. Get you a subscription to the Final Call newspaper, as well as when you visit YouTube and these different channels, you go and you listen to the Black Press as well as going to the Nation's page and anybody that's associated with them that do the research. You'll know if you pay attention. You'll know who is who, and you'll know who does what, and you'll know exactly where to go. I can name a couple places right now. Go to the Mos Marion page. Okay. Another page that you need to go to, you need to go check out Savior's Helper. You need to check out Ahmad 770. You need to check out James Muhammad. Let me see. So yeah, you would go to Brother James Muhammad. He got a lot of good stuff on his channel. Now, it's some other channels other than, Nation channels that you should definitely go to that got some good information. I'm going to name some of those too. You got Scientific 19, who else? Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. Now you got supporters that support the nation as well. You got places like the African Diaspora News Channel. Go there. You got 24/7 Hip Hop. You got the Karen Hunter Show. Dr. Boyce Watkins, Fly Nubian Queen. You got Mos Mariam got their channel back on YouTube as well. So it's plenty of places. The black media is out here now, and we got to tell the story that nobody else is wanting to tell. I'm about to pull up my list here real quick. That way Abdul Muhammad. Let's see here. Like I said, Ahmad 770. Also check out our, our 5% Nation brothers as well. Man, it's just so many people that got, also, Serious Minds. You got Brother Ben X, Brother Carlos Muhammad. All of these people got, and then it's going to take you to different places, also, as far as all of the places and the people that I do want to name, I'm going to start putting a lot of information in these podcasts for y'all to go and check out. So y'all need to make sure, to go back, re-listen, rewind, rewind something if you need to, and get the name, and then just look it up, throw your @ in front of it, You know, most of these people got Instagram pages, they got Facebook pages as well. Some of them might have some of them might have been taken off, but you know how that is sometimes. So, but yeah, family. So that was part one. I want you to dig off into that and just think about it. Could they have been right after all of this time? You know, we just wasn't listening to what they were saying because we were too busy looking at, you know what I'm saying, race and thinking that it was hatred when it really wasn't. These are things that we need to think about. So this is your man, this is your brother, Agent 2020. I want y'all to go check out Vibes, www.vibesshow.org. That's the website. We got some content. Gonna be having some new stuff coming up there. You know, that's for all things hip hop. Your man, your brother Agent 2020 is hosting that show as well. Me and my brother Mizzle Vision. So it's been a wonderful hour. Thank you for your time and indulging your brother for 65 minutes and 45 seconds. I appreciate every minute of it. Thank you very much. You have a blacktastic day. Assalamu alaikum, as we do say in the nation as well. Peace and love, family. Y'all have a good one.
In this current climate, day and time, information needs to be given clearly. In this case, Clear Vision with 2020 is a podcast for the people, by the people, that does exactly that. Your host keeps an open eye and mind when dealing with any issue at hand. We empower our audience with knowledge. You matter, and here, I use my voice to support and represent the people. The people are the human family who loves truth. Logical thinking and conversation skills are required for communication. News, culture, music, and entertainment with a clear look from a different perspective. Clear Vision with 2020.